boys and girls. Today we're going to mix it up and try a little science. So as you can see, I'm in my kitchen because what I'm going to do is try to show you everything you need to do this experiment at home or just to enjoy it while I'm doing it. Now first of all, you're going to need a bar, and I don't know if you can read this because the letters are very tiny there, but it's a bar of Ivory Soap. This will not work with every kind of soap in your house. So if your mom and dad decide that they want to do this with you, well, there's the letters. I-V-O-R-Y, Ivory Soap. We need a clear container. You don't really, but so that you can see what's going to happen, I wanted a nice clear glass container, and it's got to be one that can work in a microwave. Well, of course, you need a microwave. I've also put out a knife, a not sharp knife. This is for after. And I've also got a little cutting board, and that again is for after. But you're going to take the wrapper off of your soap. And I know Ivory comes in a lot of different sizes at the store, but I could only find the one, and there it is again. It says Ivory right on it. I'm going to put it in my thing, and I'm going to put it in my microwave. Now, the tricky part here is I want you to be able to see the microwave. So be patient, but there is my microwave, and I'm going to try really hard to hold it still. Our soap, is in there. I'm going to close it, and I don't know what you'll be able to see, but we're going to set the timer for 2 minutes, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might have to stop it, but ready? Now, what I've heard is that I should not worry that this is not going to mess up my microwave, and it might even make my house smell really, really good. So let's see. Uh-oh, something's happening. Whoa. Now, when we put that Ivory Soap in, it was really hard block. Whoa, look at what is happening. It seems like it's still going. Can you believe it? It doesn't look like that same bar of soap anymore. Yikes. See, now even if it does go over the top, it's only going to be soap. It won't make a big mess in the microwave. So I'm going to let it keep going and see what happens. I was going to turn it off. I'm glad I didn't. Look at the size of it. Oh, and I know you can't tell this, but boy, oh boy, do I smell a fresh, clean smell. It does smell like soap. I don't mind that smell. Scientists use their sense of smell, and we're also using our sense of being able to see, vision, to watch as this grows. None of it is toppled over the sides yet. Oh my, we have a couple seconds left. It's almost done. I will hope it hasn't reached the top. Looks like it. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm going to set you down. And now, get rid of all this junk. Okay, here it comes. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Now, I put it on here because I just wasn't sure if it would be really hot, if it would be cold. I'm going to touch it. Yep, it's a little steamy. And this is when you become a scientist, to see what you want to do next. Oops. Now that's what you're going to have to be careful of, because when I lift this up, wow, there is steam that comes up, so it can be kind of hot. And I was told that it would be hot. But yeah, the bowl is hot. So moms and dads, look at that. That should clean up easy because it's soap. Put that in the sink. Now this is why I have the knife. I would let it set because I don't want you to play with something that is hot. But I've got my Ivory Soap structure, and it's cooled down quite a bit already. Oh, look what fell out. Look what fell out of the middle. I think if I had left it in a little longer, even that would have grown. This is very hot, so you're going to have to be careful. Now what you do with it is entirely up to you. I am going to get a container like this one. And let's see if I can put it so you can see it. There you go. So I've got a container, and I've got my Ivory Soap. This, like I said, is a little bit hotter, but it won't burn you. I bet that part we could still use as soap. And this, I don't know. I would experiment with it. But that's why I've got this here. Because I wonder what would happen if I squished it. Ooh. Almost can make it back in, but I don't know if you're noticing all the little flakes that come off. The knife makes a great thing to play with. Now, if you wanted to make some sort of sculpture out of it, you could. It's very interesting. The inside is soft. The outside is harder, but it's very flaky. It's flaking right into soap flakes. Some moms and dads use soap flakes to do their laundry. This one that I squished, that still it crumbles up very easily. It's just kind of fun to play with and to see all the different textures. I had seen an experiment where, when you do it, it might get very hard. The person I saw do it, it was very hard, and they used the knife because they could actually carve it and break it into things. This part is very thin and like paper. Now that it's nice outside, you might decide that you're going to do this outside so you don't make a big old mess. Hey, I wonder what would happen if I added water back to it. All right, you see my sink over there? Okay, here we go. Let's add some water. What do you think will happen? I'm not doing anything. I'm just adding water. Here we go. Well, look at that. Now, it's still just, ooh, bubbly. It's kind of a fun thing to do. It's just soap. Now, you wouldn't rub your eyes. You wouldn't do anything else with it. But it is kind of fun to play with. If you're outside and it's a hot day and mom and dad says it's a good idea on the sidewalk, this wouldn't hurt anything. You could wash all of your beach toys. If I touch it with wet hands, it's very slippery. Now, I'm doing a lot of talking. Some of you are real scientists. Some of you, I know, are going to take out your science notebook and maybe draw a bar of soap and write out the experiment. The experiment was, what will happen if we put a bar of soap in the microwave for 2 minutes? I didn't know it would puff up like this, but it is super, super cool. It's still soap. You could still use it. Or, oops, sorry, I'm trying to move the screen. Or you could choose not to. But it is fun to play with, and it shows that something that is very solid, even though it got all puffed up, it still is a solid. Soap feels good. You can write about this in your science notebooks if you want to record what you have learned. If you're just really enjoying what it's like to add different textures. So we started with a solid, a bar of soap. It stayed solid, but it got very puffed up. Very cool. And then when I added water, it kind of got all liquidy and bubbly. So we were able to get a lot of different forms from this. I wonder if you had bubble blowing wands, if bubbles would blow. Really don't think so. It makes bubbles when I suds it up. Like if I took, oh, here it is. If I took a whisk and whisked it up, it would make a hole. I know that's hard to see. It would make my bubbles bubble right up. It's a fun little experiment. I hope you have some fun with Ivory Soap today. And if you can't do this at home, because not everybody has it, I hope you enjoyed watching me, and you'll keep it in your mind. And one day when you say, oh, what am I going to do today? You could say, hey, do we have any Ivory Soap? Just remember, when you're a scientist, if you make a mess, you got to clean it up. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Yuck! See you tomorrow, boys and girls.